doubt I was doing very well in Green Mall. But the thing is, this about the true history of India, that was boiling inside me. Actually, in the year 2013, I wanted to write a book, Glories of India, because by that time I had gathered lot of historical information by traveling to lot of historical sites.
I know you undertook a lot of sites also. You visited so many sites
Correct.
also.
I went to,
Met many historians, many archaeologists. I know that.
I went to the Jesus tomb at Srinagar. So like that, I traveled to so many historical places, and what I discovered was really astonishing. That the real history of India, true history of India, has been totally concealed. You see, when I was young, when I was about 18, 20, 22 years old, I used to think that India is a backward country, poor country, and I used to think it must have been like that always. Used to have an image that India is a country of cows, India is a country of sadhus, puja, path, no scientific advancement, no development, no research lab, things like that. And on the other hand, West, they are going to moon and they are doing so many scientific things. They are inventing so many things. They have Newton and Edison and so many researchers. India is a horrible country. And I used to feel very sad that I am an Indian. But then the truth is all other way around. The thing is, India has been the richest, wealthiest and most advanced nation for 4,800 years.
Correct, because India has a galaxy of saints and sages, and that is why India also known as the word no that land of infinity. Because only the country which India I know also like India is known as that because spiritual the Western country they borrowed the main spiritual knowledge from us only. That the thing.
Not only spiritual knowledge, they have borrowed everything except this industrialization and
Technology development.
technology, weapons for your destruction, whatever they have invented.
No, even weapons also. You can see the Oppenheimer. That time when the Oppenheimer also like he said like when he developed the weapon like a atom bomb. So when it was jettisoned from in Japan that two cities like
Hiroshima
and Nagasaki. That time somebody asked them why did you bring about this such kind of that destruction, wanton destruction. Then he said he quoted from that Bhagavad Gita, I am the Lord, the cause of death. He said that. So it means the concept he already extracted borrowed from India already. That's true.
So about 30 years back, it came to my knowledge that this Aryan theory of invasion, that could not be correct. Because I used to think that if we are Aryans and if we have migrated from West, why we should conceal this? Why it is not there in our scriptures? Why any Ramayana, Gita, Mahabharata, why this is not mentioned?
Correct.
Because migration is not a crime.
No.
Now I am from Rajasthan and I have migrated to Bengal.
Relocated, huh?
It's not a crime.
No.
So why this migration theory has come? And then I started studying into that, and then I discovered a lot of things. And my discovery basically started from Jesus Christ. It was 2002 that I got a book on Jesus, that is Jesus Lived in India. And when I read that book, I was shocked. That book said that Jesus came to India at the age of 30. Till 30 he studied here in India.
I mean Bible also there was a part is missing. Like Jesus was that time he
Lost.
said I'm going to Father to meet my Father. And that time nobody knows where he actually went because that during that period was missing. Bible also they could not explain.
Yeah,
Nobody
that's
knows.
called lost years of Jesus. So at the age of 30 he went there, and at the age of 33 he was crucified. He came back to India and he lived in India.
it means after crucifixion, the Jesus actually came to India through tunnel, because I also read about that there is a Da Vinci Code, one book also was revealed this theory also. But I don't know what is the veracity of this statement. But do you think it is a? Can you prove it? Like
I can definitely prove it because there are so many books and so many people have researched on this, but it doesn't come to surface because church is very strong.
okay, understood.
So they have
They try to suppress the truth actually.
they have lot of ways, and then what happened? I don't want to come to this topic, but anyway, when we are coming, I'll just tell you. In 1878, a Russian scholar, he came to, his name was Notovich.
Okay.
He came to Srinagar and he found all the evidence that Jesus lived in India.
Okay.
He went to France and he wanted to, when he published this article, first who objected this? It was Max Muller.
Okay.
Max Muller, who has been writing Indian history. So he said, no, this is all fraud. And from there,
He refuted his theory fully.
from there they started this. And till now it is continued. And researchers, so many, at least 50 books are there on this topic, from different authors and from different angles. Nobody has copied each other's book. It's all different angles. So a lot of evidence is there. But the thing is, who will check the evidence?
Correct. Acha, have you ever been to the Buddhist gumphas in that Tibet, that is Tibetan
Yes.
side? There are, I know, many gumphas are there, and over there that all the ancient sages, and there is a tantra, Buddhist tantra. Did you ever do any research on it?
I did not do much research, but where Jesus lived for 5 years, I went to that Kumbha.
Okay.
That is Hemis Monastery.
Okay.
That is 62 kilometers from Leh.
Okay.
So I went there. But the thing is, today they are in denial mode. When I spoke to the chief monk over there about Jesus, he said, no, we don't know anything.
Actually, due to the controversy, because Dinesh Rawat always, take that matter which is very controversial, and not only that, you reveal it in front of the public. That actually, maybe it's one thing, truth, maybe it is hers, but truth always prevails in the long run.
Correct.
That is in the beginning, actually, maybe it is not harsh, maybe they may not, but in the long run, they will accept it.
So like this, when I came to know about Jesus, then I thought, yes, true, there must be a lot of manipulations. Then I started going deeper. I read histories like India in Greece, that is a book written in 1700s. And then what I found, there is a very big manipulation. For example, we read our books that Indian civilization is one of the oldest civilizations.
Correct. Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, even still.
And they put Indian civilization at par with Babylonian, Sumerian, Mesopotamian civilization, Egyptian civilization. But the truth is, Indian civilization is grandparents of those civilizations. Not parallel, but we are taught that Indian civilization is one of the oldest civilizations.
Even I also know, like the cultivation also first started in India also, like Harappa civilization. The first they started cultivating.
So they manipulated so many things. That they invented the theory of Darwinian evolution. They invented theory of Big Bang. They invented theory of Aryan invasion in India. They invented a theory that Sanskrit is a part of Indo-European language, a language which never existed. Sanskrit is mother of all languages.
I know, but today it is obsoleted because today this entire language is obsoleted, right?
No, that is not the story. The thing is William Jones. He was doing some research on Sanskrit. He was translating Vedas. And that time he discovered that most of the European languages and other languages in the world have words from Sanskrit. And that time we understood that Sanskrit is the mother of all languages. But he did not want to give credit to Sanskrit. So they invented a non-existent language. And they gave a name of that language as Proto-Indo-European language.
Okay.
There is no evidence when it was spoken and where it was spoken.
So it means that this generation of children, those who are learning, so actually that they are not learning the truth.
No.
So if actually thing is that they are not getting the taste of the truth.
Correct.
Because you experience the taste of the truth from the various in and through experience, in and through exposure, in and through traveling, even lot of experiences you have
So
got.
that is what I want to share with everyone.
Okay.
And that is why I have started this Glories of
Very
India.
good endeavor.
As a matter of fact, I wanted to write a book in 2013.
Okay.
But then I thought, even if I write a book, it will not percolate to everyone. Because my book of 500 pages, how many people will buy? Very few.
Very few.
And out of those who buy, all of them will not read. 95% will read 40 pages, 50 pages, and after that they will get involved in some other thing. That is what happens with most of the book buyers.
Actually, let me tell you one thing, that anything is good, they are always few in number. Maybe anything, like Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, they all want. Same like you are enlightened soul. So that there are few in number actually, but it's of course sooner or later, don't worry, people will acknowledge, definitely they will bow down, they will accept you the truth. Because truth never bow down before anyone. So the people bow down before the truth, that's the thing.
So then I decided, no, I am not going to write the book because everybody will not read the book, and those who read the book, they will also not share the knowledge with everyone. So today is time of social media, so I thought I'll spread this knowledge with small
Video clippings.
Yes.
Okay, understood. Achha, nowadays, another thing that young generation, like from student, if you can see the parents, you can see the job seekers, those who are working in the multinational company, managers, that those who occupy the higher rank of the society, everyone is they cannot cope with stress, because just I told you, they all are under stress. So in order to cope with the stress, I think enlightenment is required. Because enlightenment, without enlightenment, the person don't have the knowledge, actually knowledge or insight, because in knowledge to gain information is gathering. When that information, when we apply in our day-to-day field work, then we gain the wisdom. And when our understanding in that field is 100%, then we develop the insight. That's the thing, as we know. So, and when your insight is 100%, then only you can feel your spirit. Then you can understand that your enlightenment you get. So you are an enlightened soul. So you already experience the taste of the truth. Because I should not tell you are a philosopher, because I know I came across with you for many years. The person who embark on the journey to explore the truth, they are actually philosopher, because they are already embarking on the journey to explore it. But you already got the taste of the truth, means the person who already got the taste of the truth, that's the truth, something is beyond the body, mind and intellect. That person already reached that realization, means the person is we call it saint actually. So that because you already reached the transcendent all this body, mind, intellect level. So in this case, because when you are the part of Brahma Kumari actually that all the saints are there, all that I know. So these people already, they can transcend in the body, mind, intellect. There is something, reality is there, all pervading reality. Now, these people are actually there under illusion. So what tips you are giving them? Like how can they cope up with the stress and how can they get the success in their life? They become also like a glowing spirit. So I know you already started short tips for the success, their success. Just can you tell me something for them?
Yeah. I'll share with you something very important, very valuable. One of my most important experience. You see, at 4 o'clock I go for meditation. So, with lot of feeling, I sit in the meditation and I communicate with God. Okay. So, I I offered God, God, my life, my thought, all my possession, everything I surrender to you. You let me know what is your advice to me. What should I be doing in my life? What are your instructions? So I was very happy that I'm sacrificing everything to the God. Okay. Now, you know what the reply came? Reply came, what is yours that you are offering me? What is yours that you are going to sacrifice? Means, nothing
Nothing.
belongs to me. What can I sacrifice? So that was the point. After that, I realized, who am I? Practically, when I say I am no one, from that angle I say I am no one.
Okay.
Okay. So this is.
So at that time you realize that you are nothing, just pure consciousness, the Turiya consciousness,
Correct.
that illumining the three state, awakening, dreaming, and the deep sleep consciousness actually. Actually, that's the main thing, that everyone, we are nothing, we are divine, the divinity in disguise, or the God playing the fool actually.
Correct. There is a song ना दुनिया बनाने वाले
Correct.
क्या तेरे मन में समाई काहे को ये दुनिया बनाई.
Main thing is every human being is essentially divine. They have to realize it. And in and through pain and these experiences, they reach to the higher conscious level. That is the life, journey of the life. Ultimately, they will meet with the ocean of or the infinite.
Correct. Actually, I am too small a person to enlighten such a big widespread darkness all over the world, and we are talking about Indian scenario. But the thing is, when I see that there are a lot of speakers who are teaching you how to make your life, how to build your life, and those speakers, most of them, they have no experience of life. They are in their 20s, they are in their 30s, they have not lived the life, but they are giving teachings. They are just like college professor who is teaching business management without doing any business.
Correct.
A PhD professor teaching about agriculture without ever going to the field.
Means you're talking about they have the knowledge, they have their intelligence, but they are not man of intellect character,
Correct.
because they don't have the wisdom.
Right.
Because wisdom and knowledge both are the different thing aspect.
So that is where I considered that, you see, there are spiritual speakers, lot of spiritual speakers are there, but unfortunately they don't have a business background.
Now even their practical life, you will see that their personal life miserable. Even maybe they are motivating others, but when something happens to them, they victim. I have seen like that. They cannot maintain the consistency.
So that is what is happening. A spiritual speaker cannot teach you about business. A businessman cannot teach you about spiritualism. Similarly, a historian cannot teach you about personal achievement technology. A person who can speak about personal achievement technology, he doesn't know the true history. So God gave me that opportunity to walk through all the lanes of the life. I have started my life with very basic level. Then I have worked for others as an employee for 13 years. I have done my business for 25 years. I have worked for the environment, plant, trees, and in this I have introduced so many new concepts for about 15 years. I have worked for spiritualism for about 30 years. I have written books on horticulture. So God has taken me to all these lanes. So it's my duty to share my experiences, my knowledge with everyone. So with that idea, I am giving practical tips to people. Under this small tips, big result.
Correct.
So with small tip, you can achieve very big results in the life.
Okay.
So that is what I have started, and I have a firm belief those who follow my classes for 1 year, they will be totally transformed person. Because I am not going to give big classes. I am not going to call. I am not going to hire a big auditorium or personify myself. My pure idea is that I should share the insight, my insight, in a very clear and simple terms with
So
them,
that people can understand completely.
so that not only they can understand, they can
Integrate and also they apply in their day-to-day work
Correct.
also. They can apply your knowledge in the field also, their
Correct.
respective field
So
also.
today what's happening, people are listening and they think that when they listen and when they have knowledge, they can be successful. No.
No.
You have to inculcate.
Integrate in the system and then they have to apply in their field also. Then only get.
So now yesterday itself, I have introduced a new concept, and that concept will, anybody who follows that concept sincerely, he will be a different person in 1 month.
Very good thing you are doing. It's a commendable job. Really, Dinesh Rawat is doing in today's day. He is really doing a commendable job. I think today from a goal to he changed his goal to a mission into a vision.